Howdy, welcome back. This time I got a quick one for you. It's another one of those rare oddballs you find on the auctions every now and then. So I'll show you the pictures from the unboxing I did yesterday when it actually came in around 2 in the afternoon. I think mail gets delivered later and later and later around here, I don't know. But anyway, we'll get to the unboxing and I'll come back and I'll show you some other stuff. So let's go. And here we can see the box look like it's been tossed around Godzilla's playpen, but by the way it's bulging, it's overstuffed. Or stuffed well anyway. And here's the result. So you can see that that's just half the stuff as that came out of that box. Good Lord. And here I used my attitude adjuster because it's on that loop on the front sight, because it was almost completely off the back of the sight. Yeah, it'll work every time. Now it understands just fine. And here it is, straight out of the box, no wipe down, no nothing. Just what it looked like as I pulled it out. Not bad. And walnut stock my foot. I still say that it looks like walnut staying down. And here it is after a rem oil bath and a good dry rub down. Starting to look pretty darn good. $152 or better. And here's the money shot. Ain't that pretty? Oh yeah. You gotta love that. That just looks really nice. It's got some heft to it too. Looks a lot better cleaned up, huh? But as the seller on the auction said, the action works, but it acts like it needs a seal kit. The action worked once. It's sticky inside from being over lubricated. The oil dries and gets, like sticky, varnishy, goopy stuff. Almost like when road tar starts getting kind of hot in the summer sun. And so anyway, it at least needs a seal kit. Oh, got a rubber band there trying to hold that thing up, and cocked once and stuck. Well, anywho, the oil dried a little bit since yesterday, but it still looks kind of shiny. That's nice. But let's see, right here. This thing is supposed to knuckle out like that, with a little kind of hole, pellet-shaped hole in it, to load a pellet in, bring it down to the breech, and it goes in and all that internally. Well, this little cylinder here is actually a bolt probe for the magazine right here that the 22 caliber pellets go in. It's made for wad cutters, so anything longer than a wad cutter, you might get a feed jam and break a part inside that you can't replace. So far, now we'll see. Anyway, this little cylindrical thing here is supposed to have a pin sticking out about the size of the end of a finishing nail, about that long. And it looks like somebody tried to fix this thing and got it stuck inside. It's still sticking outside, so you can pick it up like that, pull it back, and pull it back down again. Right there, these little slots to load. Like most guys load 10 pellets in it. Crossman said 14, but I'm thinking it's more like about 10 once you compress the spring and leave room for that. So we got to take it apart to fix that too. I think mostly it's just got this cylinder thing here stuck inside out, is jamming that part up, and it's just over lubed and it's got sticky oil drying up in there. So we'll see. If there's a lot of broken parts in there, I might not be able to fix it unless I get a small lathe and make some parts, and I'm not unabashed at doing that. But that said, well, it did cock. It cocked that time, but it cocked that time, but the lever won't stay up. So that's the hammer at half cock, which is the low power setting, and all the way back on all the way back on full cock is the high power setting. Even that's still no more than about 480 feet per second, they say. So I get this thing fixed, I'll break out the G2 and we'll see. I got some Beeman 7.1 grain silver bears I'm going to try, and this one it looked like the length and diameter would be about right. I got those in a couple of calibers. So we'll take a look at that right here real quick. Those look like they work to me versus Meister Kuglen wad cutters or super pels, you know, the flying garbage cans as we used to call them. I got a whole bunch of super pels there in 2 calibers going back to the 40s, so I got plenty to play with for the originals so far as that's concerned. But I'm gonna see what parts are available and that would usually break, and I'll buy a couple pairs of them if he's got them, and keep them around here so I can experiment with different pellets. Oh, and there's the little thing on the end, like the little round thing over the sight, like a Marlin or like the 700 Pellmaster. These things, actually, some of these open sights aren't bad. But I'll tell you what, too, this thing's got some heft to it. I'm going to have to get some batteries for my scale and weigh this one. This feels like it weighs about as much as the 160 Pell gun up there, and that's like 6.7, 6.8 pounds with the scope. So this has got to go 6.5 pounds. Feels like to me. It's definitely got a heft to it. That whole receiver thing there is metal, including the lever, the trigger, and, you know. It's got the same basic rear sights that so many old Crossmans do. So that you can buy that for like a 760 and to replace it if you needed to. The front sights, that steep ramp front sight's a lot higher though. I don't think I've seen one. I don't know any of my old Crossmans, and I got a lot of them that's that high. But it's so plain on the sides. I mean, I don't know why that part's there, because you can see the magazine right here with the spring and everything. Not sure what part goes in there. This thing goes out like that every time you cock it. It's working properly. But otherwise, this thing is pretty plain Jane around the outside. Now, even some of the guys at the airgun shops and stuff say that this thing is is Crossman's rendition of a Savage lever action. This thing looks absolutely nothing like a Savage 99F. And you can look that up. You can do a quickie search for that yourself. Savage 99F. The receiver part is about that big, and the rest of it is all wood, especially even where the lever is. It's got a pin right here where it hinges right there. And it's got this big metal thing that comes out with the lever, like an old rolling block or something. And yeah, this thing actually looks a lot closer, minus this area right here, to the Winchester 1871. The 1871 had a stock that came up kind of narrow like this, but this down to here was the wood forestock, so that tapered out a little more. But other than that, I think this thing looks a lot more like an 1871 Winchester saddle gun than the Savage 99F. That 99F looks totally different. It looks more like you put a lever action on a semi-automatic. Now that's what it looks like, and that goes back to the late 1800s. They made it up to like 1970, something like that. Oh, and this is not what is called the Han, by the way. And thanks to a fellow Facebook Airgun group member that was telling me about that. And there's a lot of stuff to remember from when these things were first made when I was young, you know, a long time ago. And here is a couple pictures of the model 166 Han Super BB repeater. You see what I mean? That one looks more like an 1874 Winchester. This one looks more like an 1871. That's been embellished a little bit, in my honest opinion. It's got a nice weight to it, and look at that beautiful buttstock on that thing. I'll show you there how thick it is. Buttstock reminds me real close to that of the Model 70 Pel gun over there. Real close. And that round plate right there, you pull that out to get to the buttstock bolt, but that's going to be way up in here, and you have to use an extension to reach that far, obviously. But that's where it's at right now. So, and BakerAirguns.com has the seal kits for that thing. That's about 39 bucks, just under 39 plus shipping and all that, you know. I'm going to talk to him and see if he's got parts for these things. And also, Mike Baker, out in Arizona, might be good for parts. Peterbuilt78@hotmail.com. And I'll put the link down there. So, good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll see you again.